Guess what they sing at Jason Voorhees' birthday? Voorhees, a jolly good fellow. Voorhees. That was terrible, but it does link to the video. Welcome, guys. Welcome to this video. My name is Phil, and today I'm going to be talking about the 20 scariest horror characters ever. Or at least in horror terms. Yes, this is my pick, so if you don't agree, it's off. It's my fucking channel. Fuck off. Within the first 30 seconds, I've swore. There you go. So yes, welcome to the video. I'm back again. Here I am. Are you ready? Rock You Like a Hurricane, which is the song by the Fuck Your Bums, which was a great band, but I think they changed their name to the Scorpions later on in time, as Fuck the Bums was not a good name, but it was German. It meant something different in German. It was Und Fuck the Bums, which meant power and prosperity in the in the eyes of defeat. But yes, they changed the name to the Scorpions, and the rest is history. And what the fuck am I talking about? Thank you very much, guys, for your support on the last video. I had fun. It was an interesting video. So yeah, it was good, and I think you all enjoyed it. And I spoke about a few things, and it was all lovely. But yes, welcome to this one, and we're going to do 20 of the scariest characters in horror history. So I'll put a little picture of them here so you know who they are, and I'll give you a bit of a background as to why I've put them where they are. So we'll start at number 20. And I'm starting with one you may not know, you may know. His name is Victor Crowley. He is a character from the Hatchet franchise. There's 3 films, and the 4th one was called Victor Crowley. So they decided not to call it Hatchet. Why do they do this with films? Why is it Rambo 1, Rambo 2, Rambo 3? What should the next one be called? Rambo. What the fuck? Did it with Rocky as well. Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, should we call it 6? Rocky. Balboa. It's like, fuck off, man. And then they just started naming them after the characters. They do it with everything. Absolutely. Didn't they do it with Saw? And they got to like Saw 9, and then the next one was Jigsaw. And it was like, for fuck's sake. But hey, anyway. Victor Crowley is a character who is played by Kane Hodder. The guy who played Jason Voorhees in most of the Friday the 13th franchise. He reprised his role as a gigantic killing mountain man with a deformed face, and I'm not going to lie to you, the kills are insane. There's a cheeky little cameo by Robert Englund, and I think he gets his entire face pulled off, but I might be wrong. But the films are insane. He pulls people to pieces, he rips their jaws open, he pulls their heads off, he pulls their skin off. Yeah, you name it, he's violently evil. And the whole sort of, it's a bit camp, bit silly, bit cheesy, but it's probably one of the best horror franchises to come out of cinema in the last 20 years, certainly, and it's very good. So check out Hatchet. There's 3 of them, and they're definitely worth a look. I did enjoy them, I must admit. They're fun. So that's number 20. If that's number 20, what's coming next, Phil? Well, I don't know. Number 19 is a character I don't care for. In fact, I'm not sure why I put him in front of... I know why I did. Chucky. A lot of people like Chucky. I'm not a big fan. I do like Dorf when he plays Chucky. He always does him kind of silly, and he's been doing him for so long now. He's kind of lost his edge a little bit. It's like Freddy. He's kind of become stupid now. The shit he comes out with is just next level. He's stopped being frightening. Although I never really thought he was. Oh, he was quite scary in the first one, because he was quite evil and relentful, and he just wanted everything. He just wanted to kill, which was always good fun. But yeah, Chucky number 19. What do you think, guys? Maybe, I don't know. But you tell me. You tell me. I don't know. So number 18 is a really big one, and oh no, don't be dirty again. Behaviour. Is that gum? Come on, either spit it out or swallow it. I don't even wanted to swallow my gum at school, because I used to think it wrap around my heart and I'd die. But apparently that it just goes into your stomach, and then when you do a shit, it creates a big bubble first. I don't know if that's true. Number 18 is Jigsaw, and I'm conflicted with this. Jigsaw, I remember Saw coming out around at the same time as Seven, and it felt like Seven. Seven being the film with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, I think, and Kevin Spacey. Oh, controversial. He loves his boys. I can't say that. He might not love his boys. It was never. It was never concluded in court. But apparently, he may like some boys. Who knows? Who cares? Hey, it's Hollywood, man. Everybody loves the boys. Not the TV show on Amazon, but actual boys. Apparently, according to Corey Feldman, they do anyway. I'm digging. I'm just fucking. Yeah, Jigsaw is. The fuck did I get to that? I don't know where I went with that. Yeah, but oh yeah, Kevin Spacey. That's right. What's in the bugs? What's in the bugs? Was Brad Pitt's line in Seven. Saw came out very similar. A killer that had a unique way of murdering his victims. He got to the point where he set them up into a position where they could genuinely kill themselves. The Jigsaw was because you have to put the pieces together in order to, you know. Or did he cut? I can't remember. Did he cut a little piece? I don't know. I'm not even going to say that. And there was obviously the pig present as well. But Jigsaw was. I just felt like it got to a point where it was just gore after about 5 or 6. And I always felt the films were clever. Like there was little tie-ins to each movie, like a Marvel universe. It was like, but wait, this is the new killer. But wait, that person's been double crossed, and you'd be thinking, ooh, but it was just masked in this pure gore porn, and it was disgusting. And some of it made me go, "Oh my god," you know. And I've got a strong stomach when it comes to horror, but fucking hell, man, Jigsaw was, yeah. Go further into the Saw films, and some of them are horrible. The one where it's turning his arms, and so he's like that, he's turning his arms around like that, and then they just snap. It's like fucking hell, man. Both arms and legs, and he has to try and stop the mechanism. Horrible. So that's number 18. Number 17 is a newish character. Don't know if you've heard of him. I fucking love him. I think he's brilliant, and possibly he is going to go up in this list as he goes on. Art the Clown. Yeah, you'll be able to see a picture of him. Art the Clown is a character that is he's created for kind of gorehouse movies. He's been in 3 films. He's been in All Hallows Eve, which was sort of like 4 short films centered around Art the Clown. He's been in Terrifier 1. He's been in Terrifier 2. Terrifier 2, in my opinion, has possibly one of the most grotesque and horrendous and disturbing kills I have ever seen in my life, to the point where he spent around 60% of his budget on that one kill, and everything that went into it. If you have a strong stomach and you really like horror and you've never heard of Terrifier 1 or 2, you can get a double feature pack on Blu-ray, and it's about £14 to about £10. And have a watch, and don't say I didn't warn you. It is really gory. It was the film that was about 4 or 5 months ago, about 4 or 5 months, about a year or so ago. People were actually leaving the cinema to puke up. Fucking gut of life. Jesus Christ, it's just a bit of fucking corn syrup. Calm down, you know, but people get a bit silly with these films. They have to overreact, don't they? Oh, me. Fuck off. Anyway, Art the Clown, yes, number 17. Now, number 16, I've bought it to Army of Darkness, which is Evil Dead 3. It was going to be called Medieval Dead, but they changed their mind and called it Army of Darkness, because at that time, those kind of Conan sort of films were coming out, and they felt it worked better than Medieval Dead. So we have Ash, who has been transported back in time, where he must fight the Deadites. He goes to get the Necronomicon. He accidentally unleashes an evil version of himself, and that evil version of himself forms an army of the dead, and there's a huge battle. It's so much fun. And little Easter egg is there's a scene in Army of Darkness where Ash is showing the army how to make sorry, let me just get rid of that off the screen. Where Ash is showing his army how to make bombs, how to make gunpowder. And there's a bit where the king or whoever it is holds it over a candle, and Ash goes, and pushes his hand away and breathes a sigh of relief. If you watch Lord of the Rings, I think it's the second one, the two towers. The exact same scene has happened with Saruman and Wormtongue, where Wormtongue holds the bag and he goes. It's there is so many scenes in Army of Darkness which have been kind of captivated by Peter Jackson, and he's just used them in the Army of Darkness. He obviously was a huge fan in Lord of the Rings. Sorry, he was obviously a huge fan of that film, and it is a great film. So much fun to watch. It's not as X-rated. It's not as R-rated as number two. It's not as like that, but it's a fantastically fun film, and I'd almost say it's almost kid friendly. There's a little bit of blood in it, but it is very funny, and it makes me laugh. Yeah, it's a good film. Yeah, so Evil Ash is number 16. Because he's just such a great character. I wish there was more of Evil Ash. He's so much fun. Number 15 is another big one for me, and that is Candyman. The reason why is because I genuinely was fucking terrified of that Candyman. Saying his name 3 times in the mirror will bring him, and he has obviously the big hook for a hand, and he will take your life and kill you. Candyman is a set of films set in New Orleans. It was actually really good, and I never appreciated it the first time I watched it, but watching it again older, it's such a great set of films. They're so much fun to watch, and so gory. But yeah, I actually felt sorry for him as well, which is something that doesn't happen usually. But I did feel sorry for him because obviously the character is he's a slave who falls in love with obviously the who whatever he is, the rich owner of the person who owns him. He falls in love with one of his daughters. They fall in love, which is lovely, but obviously that's not allowed back them days, is it? So he goes fucking crazy. They chop his hand off. They shove a hook up his hand. They put bees all over him. They just fuck him up basically, and it's horrible. So he is now cursed to yeah, to live inside a mirror and come out when you say his name 3 times. Wonderful, good old urban legend style horror, but it's good fun. I mean, he's genuinely a scary character because he's merciless. Number 14 is Valac. You may not know the name, but you'll definitely know what he's from. He is the demon that acts inside the nun in The Nun. He is the demon that acts inside the Crooked Man in Insidious 2, and he's also the demon that kind of is the main protagonist of the Insidious Annabelle kind of universe. And yes, he is absolutely horrendous. I think I looked this guy up because I was like, I know what his name is. And my wife was going, it begins with a V, it begins with a V. And when I looked, it just come up Lipstick Face Man. And I thought, Lipstick Face Man? I'm not going to say Lipstick Face Man on the video because I'll look like I am simple and I need to be licking windows. So I'm not going to do that. But yeah, Valac is number 14. Number 13 is Pennywise, and the reason why he's so low on this list is because I loved Tim Curry's Pennywise, but I wasn't scared of Tim Curry's Pennywise. I don't. How can you get scared of Frankenfurter in a clown wig? And the problem with Tim Curry was he was a great Pennywise. He was too good at being a clown. So, but that was the idea. The idea was that he was a clown to attract the kids, not a fucking evil clown. Evil clowns don't get kids to come along with him. Evil clowns, they ran away, which the new one did it the other way. So the new one was too scary. Like no one would ever go near that fucking Pennywise. It's mental. But similarly, Tim Curry's character didn't give. So it needed to be somewhere in between. But the character of Pennywise is really scary. It's a scary prospect. This thing that feeds on your fear. I love that kind of that darkness to him. Like he's hiding. He's in the shadows and he's in the sewers and he's watching and he's got his eye on the children and he's picking who he wants next. And he's this much bigger creature. You know, these deadites, these bigger things. But yeah. There we go. There's Deadlights. Sorry, Deadites is evil. Dead lights is what he is. Yes. So Pennywise the clown. Yeah, that's a better word. We do like Pennywise. He's very funny. Hey Georgie, we all float. Very good. Lovely. Love him. The next one is quite strange because I picked Valac for number 14, but I'm picking Annabelle for number 12. And the reason why is because I'm more captivated by the character itself. The Annabelle doll is terrifying. I've got it up here in my cupboard. One day I will show you all my neckers. I've got tons of. I said neckers. That's not like a euphemism for my balls and cock or something. That's it's my models of horror characters, which is I'm very proud of my models. Yeah, Annabelle is a character in itself, and from that point of view, I'm a big fan because I just think she's such a great visual representation of something that's evil. There's something really creepy about the doll, and I love how the films feel like a ghost train. They genuinely feel like a ghost train. At all points in the film, I feel like I'm in a train going around just being scared continuously. There's just shit happening on the screen at all points, and it's like a fun house. It's not brilliant cinema, but it is very good at giving it being fun. It's fun, scary, silly, over the top, demony horror. It's so much fun. Um, and that's why Annabelle is higher than Valak, because as though Valak is an ominous presence, Annabelle is an actual manifestation of something. She is a scary entity in herself, and she's the vessel within which everything else comes out. Yeah, but wow, that sounded really clever, didn't it? Fuck me. Where did that come from? Did I eat a diary? I didn't eat a diary, but I did shove one up my ass. There you go. So because I talk out of that so much that I wanted to sound much better. Fuck me. My beard is really big. I need to get rid of this before my interview. So the next one is number 11, and this hurts me to put it this low, but Pinhead. Pinhead is number 11, and the reason why Pinhead is number 11 is very simple. Because after number 3, and I'm going to give 4 a slight pass because at least it was fun, the films went shit. And Pinhead lost his fear factor. I loved Pinhead because you summoned him with this box, which was a curiosity. So you had to get into possession of the box. The box would find you. So you'd have the box. And then, although it's a puzzle box, the evil within the box would push you to open it. So you would eventually open the box. And then the hell doors would open, and you would be obviously met by the Cenobites and Pinhead, who was known as lead Cenobite in the first film. He was never meant to be a serious character, but then they realized everybody loved him. But yeah, he would converse with you. He would judge you. So it wasn't a cut and paste, I'll cut the shit out of you. There was a mercy to him, but it's like they're the givers of pain and pleasure, but they've been fucked up for so many millenniums and centuries, these Cenobites, that they don't know the difference between the two. So people who open the box go, oh, I'm just hoping I'm going to get ball gagged and fucked up the bum a bit. And what happens is you get chains inside, you get turned inside out, and things rammed into your stomach, and it's like they don't know. They don't know. It's a different time, That was fun back then. It's like, we just didn't know. We called everybody all kinds of fucking racist shit. We just didn't know back in the 40s. Same thing with the Cenobites. They just don't know the difference. So when they get their hands on you, they go, "Oh, I'm going to make you feel good," and then they pull your cock off and ram it up your ass. That's what they do. But Pinhead is genuinely scary because he's one of these characters where you can reason with him. He's reasoned with, but he's also merciless. He will just brutalize you if you fuck around with him. And for that matter, I like Pinhead. I think he's a scary character. Um, Next up is number 10. We're halfway there, guys. We're halfway there. And this is Predator. And I'm picking Predator because Predator is such a great character. Obviously, in the first film, he took out an entire army of commandos. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers. Oh, what a shame, he's passed away. And wasn't there like isn't there a wrestler in amongst them or something? I don't know. And how weird is this? the parachutist they find who's skinned alive at the very beginning, his dog tags say Jim Hopper, like Hopper from Stranger Things. Very strange. Maybe there's a story twist there. Probably not, just the same name. But yeah, Predator then obviously takes them out. He's quite brutal. But again, I like Predator because he respects heroicism. He respects soldiers. He respects, the fact that you can fight him and face him. He just wants a true battle, but he's quite brutal, and I love Predator for that. And he's one of my favorite characters. Next up, and I've put him on here just because of how iconic the films were. Number 9 is Ghostface. Now, Ghostface, I'm not really putting, because the characters are always high school kids or some random teacher or something. It's always that as the killer. So the Ghostface itself is not scary. It's the fact that the films are so good at building suspense, and it was genuinely. It's one of those films where it came out at the right time. It came out in the 90s. People were bored of horror films. And then all of a sudden it came out and went, we are not just going to do horror. We're also going to poke fun at horror. And we all went, hang on. That sounds fun. Obviously, Wes Craven's idea. He came out with Scream before he came out with Nightmare on Elm Street. But 80s kind of asked for Nightmare. And Scream was a slasher film. There was tons of them. There was like, I don't know, Slaughter High and all sorts of shit going on. There was too many slasher films back then. You had Michael Myers and Voorhees just kicking ass. He didn't need that, so he created a different character. And I won't go into it because he comes up next, Freddy Krueger. In fact, we can talk about him because he's number 8. And obviously, he made Freddy Krueger, who genuinely is one of the most terrifying characters in the first film. I had nightmares about Freddy Krueger. And then I watched the later films, Dream Warriors from Dream Warriors on, which is the third film, and the second film, which is just basically gay. I think you can catch gay from that film. It's that gay. But number 3 is Dream Warriors, probably arguably the best of all. Other than New Nightmare was really good as well. He just becomes silly. He just becomes a meme. He's the same as Chucky. He just goes fucking stupid, and the plots go ridiculous. And I don't know. He's a baby, and then he's this, and then he's that, and then they try and kill him with the power of love, and then they try and kill him with holy water, and his mum comes back and kicks the shit out of him, and it's like, what the fuck is going on with this franchise? And Freddy just makes one-liners, but the kills are always on point, and always the dream kills when he's killing them in their dreams. They're always so inventive and so much fun. I really do enjoy the Friday the 13th, the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, because even though they are a bit campy and silly, they are always fun. And I really enjoyed Freddy versus Jason. I thought that was a great film. Next up is Sodaku. Not Sudoku, not the popular number puzzle. This is Sodaku, who is the girl from The Ring. Reason is because she is fucking terrifying at the end of the original film. And I'm talking the Japanese version, not the American version. Although the American version did some things right. When she crawls out the well and crawls out the TV, I'm not going to lie to you, that was fucking horrifying. So perfect, so slow when she did it. She was so slow and just deliberate with everything she did. Couldn't help but think that was such a great scene. So yes, Sodaku is definitely number 7 in my list. I think she is a great protagonist. Number 6 is Leatherface. I'm going to start to become a little bit obvious with a couple of these now. Of course, Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Toby Hooper, who did number 1, and then number 2, which was mental. Was it Michael? No, it wasn't. Was it Matthew McConaughey? Or was that number 3? Which one was Matthew McConaughey? That was something The Family or In the New Family or something. That was number 3, I think. Number 2 was Dennis Hopper as the sheriff with his twin chainsaws. And Leatherface was in a dress and fell in love with the girl. It was fucking mental. The second one was ridiculous, but the first one was really good. It felt like I was watching something I'd found in an old basement. Like I was actually, it was horrible. And it wasn't so much in the scenes where there was blood and killing. It was more the mercilessness of the enemy. They just didn't care about the girl. They didn't care about them. They were nothing but meat. And that, in its own sense, is just imagine being captured by someone who has absolutely no empathy for you, who doesn't care, who doesn't even see you as a human, doesn't see you as an equal or a person, only sees you as meat, only sees you as food, only sees you as fun or sport. That's a fucking horrifying thought. And Leatherface was, although he wasn't, sorry, although he wasn't, I just had a message then. Although, yeah, he wasn't one of these characters where he was the main problem. There were other characters in it that were just as bad, but Leatherface obviously is the face of leather. Um, this one's not I do apologise. There's not many jokes in this video, but I'm enjoying this, just talking about horror. I hope you are as well. If you're not, I'll come back and say boobs loads of times. I don't know. Boobies. There you go. Calm down. It's all good. We do lots of videos here. Hopefully you're enjoying this. I've found this one quite fun. Number 5. So we've got 5 more to go, and then I'm done. I'm going to go home. Well, I'm already home. I'm going to go and I don't know. I'm going to. I sound like what's his face? Kenny Everett's character. What was his name? The punk. Oh bollocks! What was his name? All right, grot bags. uh, for those of you who say I look like Kenny Everett, thank you very much. I think he's wonderful, and he's a great comedian. Sorely missed, along with many others. But yeah, went way too early for his time, and was way ahead of his time as well. His comedy was absolutely bang on. He was definitely one of the best, and a genius. I think he was a genius. Every time I've watched him on something, he's always a genius. And I just felt like he was just way too ahead of himself, like he should have been now. And you know what I mean? But he was perfect for them as well. He's a great comedian and very funny. So I take it as a compliment. So yeah, number 5 is Jason Voorhees. Um, Cyril Snot. Is that it? Sid Snot. Sid Snot or Cyril Snot? I can't. Sid Snot? I think that was it. Jason Voorhees is number 5. Obviously the main character from the Friday the 13th franchise. We are now on God knows how many films. Number 10, 11 with the remake, and then he did the Freddy and Jason. So there's like 12 films with Jason Voorhees in. Yeah, but he's always good. The first one was obviously his mum. That spoiled it for you if you've never watched it. And it was all point of view when the killings happened. Number 2 was him. Number 3 was him. Number 4, number 5. One was some guy, some police officer getting revenge for his son blowing his brains out or something. But yeah, Jason Voorhees, what a character! A very scary character with a big machete. Didn't always use the machete. Like to throw people through windows. I'm not sure what was going on there. I think he must have took a leaf out of RoboCop's book. But yeah, Jason Voorhees, great character, and number 5 in this list. And I have 4 left. Number 4 is Romero Zombies. Oh yeah, the Romero Zombies. There you go. And I'm putting them there because they are genuinely very scary. There's no overkill with them. They're just a very scary enemy. They're terrifying. They are slow moving, but there's lots of them, and it's just this constant want to consume that's scary. A lot of films and TV shows try to give zombies motives or reasons, or Return of the Living Dead was they needed to eat the brains to stop the pain, and then you have like rage victims in 28 Days. Even Walking Dead felt like it was the zombies became a back character. Later on, they weren't so important. They were just an inconvenience for the characters fighting each other. Whereas Romero Zombies were always terrifying. They were always the main battle. Even if the humans hated each other like Day of the Dead and Land of the Dead, these zombies still very much were the main issue. And they were just visceral. When they got hold of people, they tore them limb from limb. They ate them alive. And I just think it's a formula that if you're going to make a zombie film, do it that way. It's like if you're going to make a vampire film, do it the way it was intended. You know, make the zombies as they should have been, scuffling, slow moving, dead human beings that only need to consume. They don't know why, there's no reason, they just need to consume and move on. It's that idea of being consumed by something that doesn't need to. They're just eating. This is instinct, as Dr. Frankenstein says in Day of the Dead. Then they're working on instinct. They're taking no nourishment from what they feed. Very, very creepy. Number 3 is Michael Myers, arguably one of my favouriteest of all the horror characters in the world. I'm a huge Michael Myers fan, and the reason why I'm a huge Michael Myers fan is very simple, and that's because he's perfect. He's brilliant. He is just the boogeyman. He's bogeyman, whatever you want to call him. I called him the boogeyman again. He's not from fucking Nightmare Before Christmas. He's terrifying. Terrifying beyond all reasons. So yeah, Michael Myers is my number 3. And still scary today. I think Halloween is possibly one of the best films ever made, ever. And I don't think anyone would argue with that. It is absolutely perfect in every way. Number 2 is Alien. Genuinely scary. Those aliens are absolutely terrifying. They are excellent at camouflage. They are evil killing machines. They murder without any care. They're just next level. You know, they're much taller than us, 7.5 feet tall. Their blood is acid. They have those mouths inside their mouths so they can penetrate through hard materials like metal or your face. The aliens are just terrifying. They are probably one of the scariest creatures. And Ridley Scott's Alien was a slasher film in space and is perfect for that reason, because it is genuinely one of the scariest films ever made. You are literally watching an entire crew get decimated by one thing, but this thing is a killing machine. Imagine being in a position where you can't run out of that building. You are confined. The outside of the ship is poison. Inside the ship is death. Number 1 is the last one, and that is The Thing. Obviously, it's me. The Thing is probably one of my favouriteest films in the whole world, and the reason why I put it as number 1 is because, just to show you there, just because the enemy is world-ending. It is something that is unbelievably terrifying. It is something that can basically copy us. It will attack us, it will kill us, it will murder us, but it will also hide. It's clever, it's smart, and its chance of survival is much higher than ours. There's no trust in anybody around you. And the creature is just, I mean, the film itself, the gore effects are brilliant. The monsters are just body horror. It's horrifying to watch, and just to watch the characters break down their relationships in order to save themselves is just next level. So number 1 is The Thing, in my opinion. And that is my list, guys. I've got to wrap this up, but I've really enjoyed that. Please leave your favourites in the comments. If I've missed anyone out, I do apologise. I only have 20 spaces, and I'm sure as I finish this video, I'll go, that one, oh, that one. But hey, I can't think of them all. I can't get them all. It'll be like 100 million numbers. But yes, thank you very much, guys, and thank you very much for staying tuned and joining me here. If you enjoyed this type of video, let me know, because we could do lots of these. And I shall see you in the next video. But until then, have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. And hopefully, when I see you next week on Monday or Tuesday, we will have won the World Cup, apparently. Fuck that. We've missed the Euros. World Cup. The Euros. England will be the European champions. Fingers crossed. So, yes, I will be there watching. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.